Well, that was a fucking weekend, wasn't it? Jesus Christ.
Damn right.
Welcome, one and all, back to the green room of Dylan Leiden. I guess you can call it. I don't fucking know at this point what we can call this place anymore. Welcome back to the shit show. My name's Red. I am the General Sherman of this March to the Sea on YouTube. To my left, your right, will be Alan Nadeau. Or Nadeau. I still can't remember how the fuck to pronounce that last name.
Alan Nadeau the third.
Nadeau the third.
Yes.
Alan Europe the third. And to the other side, local Sooner who has recently escaped from the loony bin, Mr. Akbar fan. How you doing?
Hey, if you're General Sherman, does that make me James B. McPherson? I don't know. I was just taking a random Union general. He gets killed at the Battle of Atlanta. I was just taking a random Union general because you were saying March to the Sea.
Well, you definitely got killed by the volunteers in Tennessee, so it makes sense. So now,
who the fuck does that make me?
And to answer your question about what do we call this place, a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
What the fuck are you on?
Oh, and we lost him. All right, he'll be back in a second. Oh my god. All right, well, that was certainly a week. Before we get into the big and obvious story from this past weekend, we need to talk about.
God damn it, Billy.
We need to talk about our own teams. And Akbar, don't know what the hell you're doing over there, but it's some self-reflection time. And I will begin by stating, with all the sincerity of the world, Ohio State, I feel like, will win the national championship of college football. Have you seen what in the actual fuck Jeremiah Smith can do? Dude is a fucking killer. He is so goddamn good, makes your head fucking spin. He literally mosses people every fucking week like he was Randy at Marshall. He's Marvin Harrison Jr., and he's only a freshman, a true freshman at that. I don't think anybody in their mind. There's one other wide receiver in the country that we can say can make a running for top wide receiver, but honest to God, Jeremiah Smith's a legend, and they absolutely routed Sparty the other night in Lansing, and I was really, really happy to see that result. So, well, with that all said, I'm done with my bit. Oregon would be Allen. So, good God, get it out of the way.
You want to talk about winning a national title, you got to get through us first, bitch. So, calm your tits.
Whatever.
Nah, but for real, I said it last week. We needed to beat the shit out of UCLA because UCLA is not looking that good this season so far. And what fucking happens? They did exactly what we had to do. Our first game in the Big Ten Conference. And Dillon Gabriel throws 3 touchdown passes, moving up in the NCAA record books, while the defense does not allow an offensive touchdown as we roll into a 34-13 win on the day. Jordan James had 20 carries for 103. Tez Johnson, 11 receptions for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. Big Tez! Let's go. And that's our 12th win in the last 13 meetings against UCLA. So, Bruins, suck it. And, yeah, we've scored our first 5 possessions, forced a turnover, multiple 3-and-outs. UCLA is now 1-3. Deshaun Foster, sucks to be you. And apparently this is the first time since 1963 that the Bruins have not scored at least 20 points in any of their first 4 games. History, just not the kind you want to make.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Hold on. So what I say with the record books, Gabriel, he goes 31 of 41 for 280, becomes the 4th football subdivision player, that's FBS in long form, to reach 16,000 passing yards in his career And is now in a three-way tie for third with 134 passing touchdowns. The sixth-year senior has 16,059 yards in 54 games at 3 different schools. Played parts of 3 seasons at UCF, holy shit, before transferring to Oklahoma, where he played for the last 2 years, and then playing final year at Oregon because the Hawaii native wanted to play closer to home. Let's fucking go.
I will say this. I do not envy Deshaun Foster. He had to pick up the mess that Chip Kelly left behind. And
Billy, shut the fuck up.
No, I'm dead ass. I dead ass. Like, dude lost his entire team to the portal. They all either fucked off across the street to USC or scattered to the breeze around the rest of the country. UCLA was going to be rebuilding this year. I don't think anybody thought otherwise. Y'all did what you needed to go against the Bruins. That's my takeaway. That's why I didn't talk shit about Sparty.
No, you're fine. Billy was saying just watch Oregon lose to Rutgers in the Big Ten championship game.
Sake. I'm not that high on Rutgers, Billy. I don't know what to tell you there. All right, and last but certainly not least, the only fan in this room whose team has a loss in the loss column, Akbar. The Sooners bounced back, so that's good, right?
Well, the forecast called for a freeze. Hugh Freeze throwing his own quarterback under the bus.
Yeah,
That's the reason why my glasses were off this whole time.
You did not just go full.
I stole that from Josh from SEC Shorts.
God damn it. You did not just pull an SEC Shorts on this fucking stream.
Hey, it worked perfectly. Helen loved it.
Oh my God, Ethan, we'll get to that here in a little bit, I think.
Okay, so where do I say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see most of that game.
As hard as Alabama almost did. Fuck.
I did not see. We'll get to that. I did not see most of the OU game because I was trying to avoid it. I was watching the Xfinity race because I was just like, okay, it's OU. They're injured all to hell. We're starting we're starting a true freshman quarterback now. And
really?
Yeah, because we benched Jackson Arnold and put up oh my gosh, Michael Hawkins Jr. And honestly, that game was looking like that should have been a loss. Oklahoma was down 10-21 at the start of the fourth quarter. And I was watching that, and they had one good drive they were going, and then they got a holding call, and then they false start, and that killed that drive. But OU's defense locked down Auburn, and then the next drive, Hawkins just pulls some amazement. They run it, they throw it, they basically get the touchdown, get the 2 points, and then I think that's do I have to go back and look at the friggin' 10 seconds? Hang on.
It doesn't have to be that deep, man. We got a lot to talk about here in a minute.
That's true. Okay, yeah. So anyways, then basically we were okay. No, wait. They got the touchdown and the extra point, and then
now your camera froze. But for anyone that needs to understand, Auburn also lost to California and I believe their quarterback threw 4 INTs. So Auburn's not that good. So the fact that you almost lost to them and that Auburn had to choke for you to win, you shouldn't be feeling good about that.
I apparently lost internet connection for 3 seconds. Damn you, Xfinity. Anyways, I'm sorry. What was I quickly saying? Basically, pick 6, and then OU's defense basically just locked down, and Auburn couldn't do anything.
Yeah, well.
That's it. If we should have lost that game, we won because Auburn keeps shooting themselves in the foot. They honestly really should be 5-0, but their quarterback just can't stop turning the ball over. He's the Will Levis of college.
No, he's Jameis Winston before LASIK eye surgery.
Good Lord. Wait, he actually had to get LASIK eye surgery? I didn't even know that.
Wasn't that a thing that happened?
I don't fucking know.
Was that not a meme?
I know the only meme I know from Jameis Winston is that he ran a bakery that started in the Pasadena and ran all the way to Tampa and New Orleans. That's all I fucking know. Anyway,
fair enough.
We need to move on because we're already 10 minutes into this stream, and we haven't even talked about the crackhead of a game that we had Saturday night, because holy hell, what was that damn game?
I was laughing the whole time.
So
Well,
we
on
were
you and Red.
live Saturday. I was live Saturday, and I was miserable for 3/4 of this ball game. It wasn't just because of the fact that I had a migraine that was looming in the back of my head, and I was trying my best to fight it off. Alabama straight up dumpstered the Bulldogs for 3/4, 2.5. Well, really 2/4, two and a half quarters. We'll be generous.
Yeah.
But my God, I have never seen. Okay, so let me put it like this. Okay, in the Nick Saban era, when Alabama went up 28-0, it was over. It was a wrap. Warm up the bus, get the fat lady out in the midfield. It was fucking over. Okay, the show's over. You know, have fun, have a few drinks before the bars close up in the third quarter.
It's over.
But God damn it, it was not over. And slowly but surely, Alabama let off the gas. I remember at one point saying it as we approached halftime or during halftime, they have the foot on the throat. They need to finish it. They cannot let off Georgia because they have the talent to come back. And sure enough, here I come to save the day. Georgia comes fucking rolling right back in. And that game just became an absolute. It became what I said was going to go one of two ways. It was either going to be a defensive war or an air show. And the air show finally arrived better late than never in the fourth quarter with all those sick touchdown plays and the defenses on both sides just completely collapsing, especially Alabama's defense. And God, man.
Took their foot off the gas.
Yeah, they took their foot off the gas. My whole perspective on that game was Alabama took their foot off the gas at halftime or going into halftime, and they didn't realize Georgia was back in it until Georgia went up by 1 point, and then they panicked and threw and said, "Fuck it, Ryan Williams is open down there somewhere," and that was it.
One play, they had the lead for like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
and it's gone.
Yeah. Alan, you were.
I was laughing though, because listen, here's the thing: Alabama's my backup team, so I was kind of laughing and also feeling a bit bad because I'm like, dang it, this was supposed to be a great game, and meanwhile, Alabama's just absolutely curb stomping Georgia for crying out loud. Come on, where was this promised like Clash of Titans? This was like freaking Alabama playing a dang FCS school, and not a good one. This is like them playing I don't know, Chattanooga. No, wait, Chattanooga actually had a decent year last year or something. What's a bad? Does anyone know a bad FCS school that's never good?
Samford.
Fine.
Samford.
It's like Alabama beating Samford.
Citadel.
Yeah, Citadel,
whatever.
Yeah.
It was an absolute devastating attack. Georgia could do nothing. They kept screwing it up, but dang it all, and Georgia, they even gave up a safety. At that point, it was just like, oh my gosh, this thing's practically over now. And just, it wasn't Georgia managed to claw its way back. They got some help from the refs. There were a few times where like they kept getting bailed out on like a fourth down. There was like one or two fourth downs that they threw the flag on where it's just like, okay, if that flag never flies, this game's over. Alabama's pretty much got it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So Alabama's your side bitch?
Fuck.
Well, who was absolutely losing their mind when Georgia took the lead on your stream, Red?
Everybody. Frankly, everybody was losing their
No, somebody was screaming. Somebody was screaming.
Gamers was losing his mind because he was going to have to open up the tree sweatshirt.
It wasn't dumb gamers. I know he was panicking because he had promised that he would open up a urinating tree.
He would smell it and then keel over.
No, what was it?
Jim is pissed about that Miami game. Fuck. We ought to touch base on them when we're done here. Oh my God.
We'll get that, don't worry.
It was it wasn't red rubber. It was
Well,
It was Dumb Gamers. It was Dumb
Canadian,
Gamers.
wasn't it? The screening.
No, it was Gamers.
it was
100%. He was the one that.
it was either Gamers or Illogical because Illogical's an Alabama fan, apparently.
No,
That's
yeah,
it.
it was illogical Canadian. He was the one screaming like he was absolutely losing his damn mind the
Yeah,
moment
that's
Georgia took that
That's
lead.
not
That's
surprising.
right,
He's
yeah.
telling him.
Yeah.
And it was
But yeah,
hilarious
no.
to listen to.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No, I see. Here's the thing. I was the only one that was in the stream that was like, I'm like paying attention to what y'all are talking about regarding the game. I'm looking at Twitter highlights, but I'm also sitting over here playing fucking college football 25.
And I was
But
going
He
back
did
and
not give a
forth.
fuck. I only brought his ass in because it was a blowout, and I needed somebody to talk to besides the text.
We had it
Yeah,
on
it was
TV
fun.
in the other room. We were ahead by like maybe a half a minute or something of on TV. So I kept walking back and forth. There was like half that stream towards the end. I wasn't even really listening because I was busy in the living room watching. But oh my gosh,
Oh,
Georgia
man.
takes the lead. Alabama looks like they've given up the worst lead in their history. This is worse than 28-3, pretty much. But
Man, I'm a Patriots fan. Why am I flipping you off?
But Alabama managed to, in one play, took it all back.
Yep.
And then, of course, we have to talk about the ending. We have to talk about how it ended. Because 40 seconds left on the
Carson Beck
clock.
is a fraud.
40 seconds. You're at Alabama's 20. You have 2 timeouts. What the heck are you doing throwing the freaking
Well, he
hero
was trying
ball?
to throw a fade route for the pylon. The problem is that not even 2 plays earlier, he did the exact same throw, and the corner broke it up. So when he threw it again, the corner remembered that play, and he knew it and timed it perfectly. So it was just a bad decision by Bauer, by
Carson
Brock
Beck.
Bowers? No,
Carson Beck.
Black Bowers
Carson
was the
Beck. What
tight
the
end
fuck?
last year.
I was going to say, what the fuck? I don't know why I thought of him.
Take his knee.
Yeah, Carson Beck, yeah. Which, by the way, Beck, completely fraudulent. My God, that's like
I was
don't-
remembering
It's like I said on stream.
I was remember seeing on Twitter, some folks were saying, like, is it weird that now George is regretting the fact that they let Vandergrift go? Or
Yeah, I know.
maybe
Brock-
one of you guys said it
Yeah,
last
Brock
night.
Vandergriff, who went to Kentucky to start because
Oh, really?
yeah, he went to Kentucky because Georgia wasn't going to start him.
Darn, it's a shame what comes next because it isn't talking about the Kentucky game yet. Because that would have been perfect
Don't
segue.
mind. We're getting
Yeah.
there. We're getting there. Yeah, I mean, Carson Beck. I don't know if it's like I said in my 3-minute rant, which did poorly on YouTube. By the way, it's only had a couple hundred views. Like, my God,
I'm
think that I-
surprised.
Yeah.
the algorithm giveth, the algorithm taketh away. It
I'm
is what
surprised
it
about
is. As the Dope Burns
Pretty
episode
much.
2 is doing good though. But anyway,
Of course.
of course it is. Yeah, I'm definitely not trying to rip off Tree. I promise. Look.
You're fine, dude.
Beck,
Don't worry about it.
he threw 3 interceptions and fumbled it. I don't know how much worse of a performance you can have as a quarterback at this level, unless your name is DJ U from Florida
Yeah.
State. Then you've been here a couple of times already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
Zep,
here's-
Zep's on the money. He looked undercooked. He really did look undercooked here because, like, big lights, big game, the eyes of 13 million people are upon you live on Saturday Night Football on ABC. Cracks under pressure. It's
Yeah.
a damn shame.
Which is weird
too.
because this didn't happen to him last year. He
Well,
played
here's
a
the
fun,
I don't
thing.
fucking know.
he played a
Here's
fine
the
game in the
thing.
SEC championship.
Here's the thing. 2 weeks ago,
We'll beat them.
2 weeks ago, Kentucky happens. They almost lose, and Beck gets injured at the end of the game. They have a bye week, which I didn't realize until this stream last week that they had a bye. I'm wondering if either Carson's not fully healed from whatever the fuck he got, or if he's just trying to just do too much. Like, you have talent on that team. You don't need to do too much, especially when your head coach is Kirby fucking Smart.
But then you also have to remember their offensive coordinator is freaking Mike Bobo, which, by the way, was one of those Georgia players his son, because there was somebody that had the last name Bobo as well there. So I'm just like, oh,
I'm
shoot, is that
sorry,
Mike's
what?
son or something? Oh, geez, the nepotism.
Just a wee bit of nepotism. The tale is old this time.
Just a tad. Just a wee bit.
Just a drop of nepotism.
Look, right.
I think top to bottom, Alabama outplayed Georgia, but we're not giving enough shit on Alabama here because, good Lord, how the fuck do you let them back in the game after that? If you are Nick Saban was probably ripping his fucking hair out as that comeback was happening because he probably wanted to get down that sideline, grab the headset out of DeBoer's hand, and literally throw it on the ground himself. Because good fucking God, man, you're giving up all these rinky-dink long pit. You're giving up these rinky-dink shit over the middle of the field, and then suddenly, boom, you just let Beck unleash a missile downfield for 70-plus yards for a touchdown. Like, good God, man.
I think it was inevitable that Beck was going to figure his shit out no matter fucking what. Because, again, this is Georgia. They have the offensive talent, and it doesn't matter who they're fucking playing. They will figure it out. Even if you do have one of the best defenses in the league, the best teams figure it out.
And Alabama called off the dogs. It looked like they weren't even doing the same stuff they were doing when they were out. So they stopped blitzing him. They stopped remember when he throws that interception? That was when they came like with a 7-man blitz.
Yeah, they literally ran Engage 8 on his ass.
Well, I think probably part of that is because at some point, it's going to turn. You don't want to freaking rush constantly because then Beck's going to figure that shit out. So you might as well just ease off, whatever. But even then, once he started getting back in the game, they should have realized that. And then,
let me put it like this: you can easily.
Oh, great!
You can put all these different shell coverages and other packages involved there to disguise an 8-man rush fairly easily at this level. It's not hard to, come out in what looks like a dime formation, and then all of a sudden 8 motherfuckers are in your face. Like, any defensive coordinator worth their salt can make an audible there. But it's not so much about the fact that they stopped blitzing. It's also the fact that the defense the corners and the safeties, they were leaving too many spots open in coverage. Like they were leaving gaps, big gaps open for the wide receivers to carve through. It was literally embarrassing. So I think.
Hey, good news, Bill. So are the Astros. So,
and I also want to say, like, Milroe played great for the most part in this game. Ryan Williams, fucking stud. I do like him and Jeremiah Smith are gonna break college football the next 3 years.
Listen to me right now. We get it. He's 17 years old. Shut up about it.
What do you want me to fucking say? He can't even vote in this state, and he's carrying a football team on his back to possibly a national championship.
We get it. Now, please, ESPN, stop talking about it. Jeez.
It's not just ESPN.
Ramming shit down people's throats. But here's the thing, right? That touchdown from him at the end of that game, first of all, the body control to catch that ball, land inbounds, spin around, juke, break 2 guys' ankles, and haul ass down the sideline.
You're not seeing that shit on Sundays.
You can't do that in Madden or college football 25.
Nobody can do that in the NFL, what he fucking did.
Sorry to get off topic for 2 seconds just to answer Harvey's question. Harvey, the Longhorns had a bit of trouble with Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Mississippi State was kind of holding them back for a while.
Like, everybody's like, oh, he's 17. Yeah. Ryan Williams is fucking 17, and he's playing better than wide receivers in the NFL in their late 20s, in their prime. This kid's not even in his fucking prime yet. Jeremiah Smith's not even in his fucking prime yet. He's got 3 more years of these sons of bitches.
That is terrifying. And also
but when it comes to the NFL, I think a lot of that boils down to the fact that the offenses are just plain fucking shit across the league. But that's a discussion for another day.
That's a
Yeah.
discussion for another channel, honestly. And
It
with
also makes you
that,
wonder. Ryan Williams, come the end of the season with the transfer portal, he will be one of the hottest commodities. Somebody will be willing. Some school
Alabama
will be willing
will
to pay
make sure he gets paid.
He's not
I
leaving
guarantee.
Alabama. Why would
I'll
he
give it-
leave?
He's
Georgia
worth
might
1
pay more.
point- according to On3, I saw this today. According to On3, Ryan Williams is worth $1.4 million in NIL money.
Georgia
Yeah.
will give him 5.
Yeah.
Bitch, I need that money now.
$1.4 million per
Alan.
year.
Alan,
That is
listen
his
to me.
worth.
Alan, listen to me. I know where you can get that money. Call JG Wentworth, 877 cash now.
Well, JJ, what's what?
Wentworth, 877 cash now. Call now. This stream is brought to you by JG Wentworth.
This is not sponsored. This is not sponsored. Okay, look, let's just end it like this, okay? Alabama will not let this kid leave out Tuscaloosa until until he's draft eligible. There is no way they would let that happen. They will. All of the rich ass alumni will personally pay to keep this kid on campus. It's going to be the same way with Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State. It's going to be the same way with Ryan Williams. If Ryan Williams is worth 1.4, Jeremiah Smith is worth like 1.1, 1.2.
Highlight Bill's comment.
Millie.
Time to bring in the oil money.
God damn it. Okay, now we're moving on. Now we're moving on. Well, speaking of the SEC and the Big Ten, it appears we have an evil alliance. So for those of you that have not noticed,
Dear God, it's the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact.
Yep, exactly what you're saying. The Molotov-Ribbentrop contract. It's the
it's when the Nazis and the Soviets agreed to carve up Poland amongst each other
and demonetized for saying the N-word.
Yeah.
Just not that one. The other,
not that N-word.
Not
I'm sorry.
that
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The German National Socialist Workers Party, whatever it was.
There you go.
DPT.
Evil Mustache Man, and
I'm a huge history buff, but I can't remember what it's in German. Even though I know like Oberkommando der Wehrmacht.
You're belaboring. Stop. Just okay. No, we're gonna fucking reset. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're gonna move on from that and get back to the point. It's okay, not your fault. I forgive you, Akbar. Love you too, buddy. Now, this is gonna be bad. All right, I'm gonna.
You want me to say it?
Just kind of. No.
Shall I say it?
No, Bill.
Okay, I'll straight up say it right here, right now. Get us back on track. The SEC and the Big Ten are basically trying to push for the playoffs to allow them to have 4 automatic bids from each of their conferences. And it's apparently just them.
Okay, look, I read into it a little more today, and this is what the deal is.
Jim, we will talk about that. That is perfect.
I'll bring this up while we're discussing this. So it's not just that. So the Big Ten and the SEC in February announced that they were going to begin exploring a scheduling agreement with each other for non-conference games every season, which that's smart because that's going to draw eyes and draw ratings. It's also going to make their schedules more competitive and more lucrative to
hopefully
potentially sneak a playoff spot. Now, this is where things get shaky. Yeah, the Big Ten and the SEC also proposed having each of them get 4 slots, and then
Super Mario Harvey.
Literally take away 2/3 of the playoffs. Now, I read into this more. That particular aspect was tabled until the end of the playoffs this year. So nothing's going to happen right now. The compromise I heard was if they can't get 4-4, they agree they're going to likely propose 3 for each, 2 for the Big 12 and the ACC, and then 1 for Group of 5.
That's still bullshit. Because once
I know.
again, it's the same goddamn thing with the BCS. It's the same damn thing with systems before them.
Well,
You are
Alliance.
once again fucking over the mid-majors because the big boys want all the TV time, all the money, all the players, all the bullshit. Fuck off, E SEC.
I find it hilarious
Sorry,
that we
but
are
that's my
that we are.
opinion.
I find it hilarious that we're upset about this, even though all 3 of our teams are in said conferences. You would think we would
Yeah.
want that.
No! Like, I want a tougher schedule for Oregon, don't get me wrong. I don't mind that. But, like, again,
Thank you,
and
Bill.
this is the thing. This is where people talk about, oh, the mid-majors, the lesser schools, they don't have tougher schedules. Then here's what I said in the Discord DMs, okay? This is what I said. Have half of your games be conference opponents, half of your games be non-conference opponents, and the half of non-conference opponents have to be against teams that were ranked the season before, at least top 25, or at least had winning records.
Okay.
What you're
pause
basically
there.
proposing is kind of what the NFL schedule kind of does. Like the NFL, you
Yes.
get like 6 games. You got 6 games against your division rivals. Then you play like 2 every team from 2 other divisions, one from like your conference and then the opposing conference. And then you play like everyone, and then you play like a parent. Well, if I recall correctly, I don't know what it is with the now 18 weeks, but you had 3. And then you also played 2 other teams from your conference that finished the same place you did in the division the previous season. So like,
Yes.
Dallas.
Akbar.
So
Thank you.
For example, Dallas Cowboys won the NFC East this last season. So now they're playing like the number 1 seeds of like of the NFC West and the NFC North, while they play like everybody in the NFC South sort of situation like that. I think that's the best way to. Wait, what?
Okay, look, I'm going to obliterate everything that you guys are proposing right now with something very, very simple and easy to understand. Why not, just a thought, say to the playoff committee, fuck you, we're going back to the AP poll. Whoever's ranked top 12 in the AP gets in the playoffs by default.
True, and
Again,
then
you're still fucking over the mid-majors.
No,
That's
you're not.
been
You
the
know what? No.
problem.
Shh, no. Here's why. If you're a mid-major, okay, what if you really want to believe in a level playing field? Don't guarantee first-round buys. If you want to guarantee a first-round bye to conference champions, then they need to be in the top 12. If they're not in the top 12, they're not guaranteed shit.
yeah, but remember for a second, we practically almost had like
12 mid-major. You get that could see 5 SEC teams in the fucking playoffs. I know.
I was gonna say
But
8.
it could see 8, but you could see also an ACC getting left out. Maybe only one Big Ten team makes it. Let's say a Boise State cracks the top 12, and UNLV cracks the top 12, which, believe it or not, as we all know, making the top 4 was a pain in the ass for the mid-majors. Mid-majors make the top 12 all the fucking time. At various
Yeah,
points.
but then the voters are going to be more inclined to tell them to fuck off unless they can provide a resume good enough to
The
get up there
voters
and stay
do
consistent.
not give a fuck. The voters do not give a fuck
Yeah,
about,
but as you often
about
say,
where
money talks, bullshit
not-
walks.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
Nobody is
Democracy
paying
simply
the
doesn't
fucking
work.
AP poll to rank them higher. There is
You
not
don't know
been that
that.
level of. No, I know that for a fact. You know why I know that? When the BCS was around in 2005, Texas politicked like hell. with the coaches poll to get their asses ranked higher or ranked at a certain number to make the Rose Bowl against
Didn't Alabama
Michigan
try?
this year.
Didn't Alabama try that in 2022 as well? Didn't they? They
So
lost
bad,
2 games and they
the
were trying.
AP poll decided to pull their poll out of the BCS entirely soon after that. It wasn't just because of LSU USC, it's because of the blatant politicking by the polls. So the AP does not get a cut of fucking cash by these schools to get a higher ranking. They are a media poll. They are completely independent from everything. The writers of the AP poll and the trusted voters of the AP poll are the only ones that get votes. Guys like Brett McMurphy, guys that write columns in newspapers and journalists, they get the votes. They are not 100%. They have their own. Everybody has their own biases, but it averages out to what the polls say. Okay. Now,
And honestly, it seems like the pollers always there's this, and I was saying this more because when Oklahoma was in the Big 12, but it was like it seems like the freaking SEC gets like all the breaks, like they get all the attention, they get like all the rankings and all that stuff, and then meanwhile the Big 10 was just Ohio State or Michigan.
this is the flaw with my logic. Obviously, you're bringing back in a bunch of humans. Now, the BCS was bad because the computers didn't take into account a lot of things that humans take into account of. The AP polls by themselves are bad because no one can ever fucking agree with them. And the college football playoff committee is bad because you only have the opinions of a select few in a conference room. There's no perfect system. There's too many fucking
Like
teams.
Condoleezza Rice, apparently.
For only a few years. She's not there anymore. The point is, the point I'm trying to make is there is no perfect system. I know Nick Harvey asked about, why not a playoff system for FBS sponsored by the NCAA with traditional NCAA trophy. You know what the NCAA tournament is ranked based off of? A computer formula. Their seeding is determined by a computer, the net rankings. Do you really want to do that shit again? It'd basically be BCS Turbo. It ain't gonna work. Not for this shit. And then go ahead.
Can you go back to Jim Can Swim's comment above
Your internet
Mario
went to
Harvey's,
shit again.
about the
Yeah,
Super Bowl? 'Cause we
yeah.
need to
Yeah.
highlight that one because that's a good one.
Oh, I
Why not?
agree.
No, not that one.
completely.
No, no. It was at 9. It was like 9 o'clock. It was at like 30 minutes into the stream. It's
This one.
this one. Thank you. That's the one. This situation, it's very much sounding like the dang Super League all over again. If for those that don't know, there was for like a week or two, some of the biggest clubs in European football basically announced that they were going to be leaving their respective countries, the respective systems of their countries. So like the big six in the Premier League, like Manchester United, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, like they were planning on leaving. Real Madrid and Barcelona were planning to leave the Liga or whatever
Yeah.
Spanish
Get to
league
the
is.
point. Yeah.
A lot of these big ones, Juventus in Italy, they were all planning to join this league that was essentially going to be like an NFL league for European football. So basically, no more promotions or demotions and all that stuff. We're going to see like these huge franchises with all this money in this single conference playing each other all year. And the fan bases revolted.
Yep.
I am talking about it was absolutely insane of just how much of a backlash this whole system.
Oh yeah, no.
gotten
Treecord
so
was
quick.
laughing their asses off about it. I promise you.
Yeah.
That
It was
that
We
probably.
was
were
insane.
lambasting the fuck
Here
out of
is
this shit.
where I think you're going with this. You're saying that the college football fan base would need to rise up and revolt against anything like this, right?
Yes, and if
No.
you're a mid-major fan, you need to get loud as fuck.
No.
Hold on. Let him finish. Let him cook.
I don't think so. At least in terms of the teams that would be getting into this league, which from the looks of it at this point now might be the biggest schools, a few of the big schools from the ACC and the Big 10, the Big 12, and then basically just the SEC and the Big 10. Like
And his
Okay.
internet commits seppuku once again.
All right.
There's no way like this super college football league is talking about recent national champions that are going to get freaking left out, and they got the money too. But we're obviously not going to be able to. We're not going to see like something like maybe not like any of the
I
MAC
see what
teams
you did
making
there,
it
Zeb.
into this league.
So I'm gonna put a kibosh on this talk about a fucking Super League. Here's the couple of differences between that, what happened in Europe, and what's happening right now. What happened in Europe was already a bunch of professional clubs completely bucking tradition of the European football leagues. Of course, the fan base is rioted because the fans actually have a stake in these clubs. You got to remember, these are not American-owned NFL franchises that can move to another city if they don't get the stadium they want. These
Every team in
clubs-
Germany
Mhm.
is the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, almost every team in England is the Green Bay Packers. They're all operated by a fan control. Obviously, the ownership and the executives in charge make the day-to-day decisions in the operations. But at the end of the day, the fans have a lot more control over what happens to the clubs. You see that all across Europe. They're actually teams for those towns. Here's where shit gets fucked up.
There is I want a 2-second tangent. Sorry. MK Dons used to be Wimbledon. Wimbledon
Yes.
moved, and then there was
Yes.
MK Dons, and then
I
they had a
remember,
new
yeah.
Wimbledon.
John Green made that very famous, actually, which was crazy that I'm talking about John Green on this fucking channel now. But the point that I'm making is, yeah, the MK Don situation is similar as to like when the A's being moved to Las Vegas from the Coliseum. They're being ripped out, and I mean the MK Dons, the Wimbledon FC had no home, so they became the MK Dons in a new city.
Milton Keynes, by the way.
Milton Keynes, yeah. And then AFC Wimbledon was built from the ground up. Here's the fucking difference, okay? This ain't Europe. These are not professional franchises. These are schools. These are institutions. There's no relocation thing to think about here, okay? They're not going anywhere. It'd be one thing if Alabama's like, we're going to move from Tuscaloosa to Indianapolis. Like, no, of course, it doesn't make any fucking sense at all. They're not going to lose their teams over this. So because of that, the fans are less likely to care. Because they're just, at the end of the day, Alabama's still playing football on Saturday, boys. They might be playing Oklahoma now. They might be playing Texas. They might play Ohio State in a couple of years. But who gives a fuck? Alabama's still on the TV. We'll still go to the game. We'll still buy their tickets. We'll still yell Roll Tide and sing Dixie in the Heartland. Like, there's no stopping that. And unfortunately for the mid-majors, Alan, I hate to say it, even when all of the mid-majors yell collectively, they are a voice and a vote of one in this. It is so stacked against them by the way.
So then they need their CM Punk. They need their voice of the voiceless.
Oh, well, here's the thing. Unfortunately, people like CM Punk don't fucking exist right now in college football at the mid-major level. There is not a voice of the voiceless for the mid-majors right now. There is nobody. You know what's happening with the mid-majors at this level? They are potentially going to be split away from the major conferences into a new subdivision of FBS football.
And that's bullshit too.
I agree it's bullshit, but it's the way it's going because unlike these bigger programs, these smaller mid-majors can't afford to barely keep the lights on, let alone run a football program. Some of these places, honestly, shouldn't be playing football at all because of their academic budgets being siphoned.
You said about the all the mid-majors, it's just like a vote of one. Reminds me of a great Blackadder quote. Marvelous thing, democracy. Look at Manchester. Population 60,000, electoral roll 3.
And yeah, exactly. Like there's no fucking you can if every single mid-major got together and told the NCAA and the Power 5, fuck you, we're not going along with this. You know what the Power 4 would say? Okay, cool. And they would just do it anyway. That's what we're facing here. And I'm also going to be completely honest. It's not all doom and gloom because, okay, Jim, I'm actually going to bring this up real quick. We should be worried about what is stripping away the tradition and professionalism of sports. It shouldn't be so. The history of college football has changed. 50 years ago, the powers of college football were just Alabama, USC, Ohio State, Notre Dame. As time has gone on, new powers have risen. You have teams like Miami, BYU winning a national title in the mid-'80s. Colorado got a natty. Michigan continues to rise and keep on coming back. There is tradition is good, and it's going to continue to change. But college football is always a sport of change. We've gone from literally killing each other with flying wedge formations to being concerned about head trauma to the point where we eject players for hitting others with the crown of their helmets.
Literally throwing themselves like spears.
Yeah, like tradition is always subject to change. The ones that care the most about tradition in their programs are the first to be left behind. The Ivy League is the biggest example of this. They value amateurism more than anything else. And you know what happened to all the Ivy League schools? They went from the blue bloods of college football to nerds in FCS. That's it. So you need to do one of two things if you're going to survive this new era of college football. Adapt or perish. Die. Adapt or die. Which one is it going to be? And Jim, I sympathize with you. Again, I'm a cynical fucker. Okay? This is what y'all came here for. I'm not all doom and gloom. But it is pretty black and white. The saying does appear at some point where it's money talks, bullshit walks. But you also got to kind of understand where the trend is going. Unless something changes, unless something big happens, that the mid-majors all gather together and retake some power from the major conferences, their ass is going to get left behind, barring a major act. And I mean by major, I mean government. The only thing that can change this situation currently as we send it, and I think, and Jim is trying to bring this up right here, I think we'll reach a breaking point. SEC and Big Ten will separate. Mid-majors will come together, form a new association, maybe NIA teams with them, and ACC, Big Ten, Big 12 scrambling. And he wants to clarify as well. By tradition, I meant all rivalry games, local scenes. For your drasticness, we're seeing here the end of outright. Of that outright, I agree with the change sentiment. Okay.
Well, I will say one thing I will say one quick thing with the SEC. They've been trying to keep their traditions. We still have the Egg Bowl. We still have the Iron Bowl. We still have third Saturday in October. Okay. We still got those those biggest rivalry games still technically.
Hey, look, I understand the necessity for change, but there becomes a point where you change so much, you lose your identity, and you don't know what the fuck you are anymore. And
the identity of Ole Miss in 1960 is not the same identity
I'm not
as Ole
saying
Miss
individual
in
teams. I'm saying college football as a whole.
The identity of college football.
How the fuck is NCAA even still alive anymore at this point? With all the bullshit they've dealt with.
Because with the way things are currently, all of the conferences have virtual monopolies on TV rights and deals. Ever since the Supreme Court told the NCAA, you cannot be the central authority figure for TV contracts for schools, that was the first domino to fall. In the 1980s, when the NCAA lost that court case, they lost control of the money. The money started flowing back to the programs. And that is when the control started to flow back to the programs too. So that's the reason why the NCAA is still alive, quite frankly, is because the other conferences let them be. That's it. March Madness is the only thing that funds the NCAA's operations year in, year out. They barely get shit from this shit right now. Go ahead.
Do I keep like suddenly freezing?
Yes.
Occasionally. You do.
Sometimes.
I don't know what's wrong with my internet tonight. I've been having this issue for months since the first derecho that hit us here in Houston, and it's just been sometimes it keeps derecho. It was like it was a huge storm, but it wasn't like a hurricane or something.
Gotcha.
A tornado actually did hit my house. We lost nothing. No,
damn,
freaking some tomato. So the little all we lost was tomato plants. We didn't even lose a shingle. Meanwhile, our neighbors had a friggin' pool went flying. I mean, a friggin' trampoline go flying.
And that brings up a nice point here.
Yeah, I have a feeling that with all the realignment, there will eventually come a team and or point that will shatter the delicate balance. For as much as I joke about the MAC, because frankly, tanks, NIU proved that it doesn't matter how mighty you talk or walk, you have to play. If you want to talk the talk, get on the playing field and prove yourself. Agreed completely.
Which is a bit sad for the NIU situation. They haven't won since they beat Notre Dame.
Really?
No, they haven't.
Wow.
They won the weekend.
They won their Super Bowl.
But like all the mid majors where they're now the Tampa Bay Rays, where they had to keep finding every single market inefficiency to stay relevant against the big boys and occasionally get a big win. You know, like how small market teams every now and then
this is the scene from Moneyball.
Get to the top. Yeah, pretty much.
We are the runts of the litter. There's 50 piles of crap, and then there's us.
All right, guys. We have been on this point for 30 minutes now. We need to get moving.
It's a massive talking point that's going to hog up this stream for weeks.
But one thing I want to finish and clarify on is this. Nothing's going to change in the near future. The College Football Playoff Committee already told the SEC and the Big Ten to settle the fuck down. Nothing's happening right now. We're going to let the playoffs play out as it is currently. We may expand to 16 teams, which could also lead to the death of some bowl games, which honestly, that could be for the better, in my opinion.
Please never let us lose the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Well, now Red's internet is committing seppuku. Jesus Christ.
No, it's not committing seppuku. It's committing Sudoku.
Yes. All right. So I think at this point we ought to just move right along. So
yes, let's do this. What's next?
There was another, and talking about all this conference realignment bullshit. The Gonzaga zigged to the Pac-12, and the UTEP Miners, well, they're there. So, breaking news today.
Red, your camera's blurry as shit. Just so you know,
it's been like that all the stream.
The background,
it just got that way for me. No, I mean like not the blur in the background. I mean like actually looking at his face is blurry as shit, and he's like freezing off and off.
My fucking. God damn it! I'm checking my shit right now.
Ironically, Alan's the only one that's been having a clean night.
Sorry. All right. I'm going to let's talk about this for a minute.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. My stream is. I'm checking my stream on my phone. I mean, I look a little like shit, but we're working it along. And besides, a lot of these, everybody listens back to these in audio form, so who gives a fuck? Hey, you know what? I need better internet. You're right, but we'll move right along. Now,
you need a better laptop too.
Well, that's money, and I don't have it. Now, Gonzaga moved to the Pac-12, and this move right here to the Pac-12 probably just saved the conference, frankly. They're now at 8 member institutions. They're at 8 member institutions as the bare minimum.
But there are 8 teams, except in football. Because Gonzaga does not have a football. Well, wait, do they actually have a football program?
No, they don't.
No.
So it's like when Wichita State joined the American.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, Wichita State used to have a football program, and then they got rid of it. But that was because players died in a plane crash.
Well, no, they kept going until like 87.
Yeah.
I went there. I went to Wichita State.
All right.
Congratulations.
Anyway,
By the
what I
way,
was
Red, your
going-
camera's back to normal now.
thank you. Now,
You're welcome.
let me continue with what I was saying. So Gonzaga is joining as a full-time member starting in 26. They're leaving the West Coast Conference. That's obviously going to cause some instability there, but they were a basketball member institution, so whatever.
Now somebody else can win the
UTEP
same conference.
Yeah, St. Mary's. Congratulations, she's won the West Coast Conference. Yeah, Gonzaga's not going to start up a football program. No way. So, but in theory, the Pac-12 is safe because they do have a full 8-member institutions, but they do need to get one more for football still, so the hunt's not over. But they are guaranteed to be around now. Mountain West remains at 7 currently, but some minors from El Paso are likely going to make the jump from Conference USA to the Mountain West, which is a big deal for them. And good God, it's just a warm body move because literally UTEP has nothing to fucking offer. I mean, geography, it makes sense. They are closer to the
Rockies.
Rocky Mountains than they are to Dallas, but
They're in that time zone. They're in the Rocky Mountain time zone.
yeah, they are. And so, it makes sense, but it doesn't really add much. It keeps the Mountain West Conference at the bare minimum of 8 teams for the foreseeable future. But again, it's not confirmed. But it is more than likely going to happen. And because of that, here we are. And and what this will also pretty much guarantee is the death of Conference USA. It's going to fold. There's no fucking way Conference USA can continue their chaotic fucking history at this rate. You can only go back to the well for FCS teams so many times before you just got to say fuck it and give up. The NCAA's got to step in at some point with these fuckers. I swear to God.
See, this I don't mind. Like, as you're saying, Conference USA is chaotic. They keep going to the FCS well. Like, if Conference USA ceased to exist and all of their teams went to other, either went back to FCS or went to other FBS conferences, okay, that's fine. But like,
I'm gonna just go ahead.
They
They would either go independent.
Better keep the MAC.
I mean,
So.
they wouldn't go back to FCS. A lot of these fuckers just got here. They just paid millions of dollars to jump. They ain't gonna go back.
Yeah, no.
Sam Houston, they're like, we just fucking got here. Delaware's like, what the fuck? We haven't even got here yet. This shit's about to go haywire. Kennesaw State, they're just dead. It's
fun to play as apparently in college football, though.
I was gonna say the Eric Andre of the NCAA.
Let me in. Why are you booing me? I'm right. Well, that wasn't Eric Andre. That was oh gosh, I forgot.
It is Eric Andre's show, but it was.
It is from a show, but it's not Eric Andre who said that.
It's Hannibal. Hannibal said that.
Hannibal Burgess.
Hannibal Burris. Hannibal Burris show. We're getting off topic again. Sam Houston and Kennesaw State, who just got here. The fuck did I walk in on?
Where's like that meme of Troy from Community when he walks in with the pizza in that one timeline?
That one.
Okay,
yes.
all right. I'm gonna look up something real quick on the old Wikipedia because it's quick. Give me a second here, but I'm checking to see what their membership would look like if UTEP left. Because odds are there's not going to be a ton of teams following them, and it's very much
Super Mario Harvey as an NDSU Bison fan during realignment. To quote Gene Wilder in the original Willy Wonka film, "The suspense is terrible. I hope it will last."
All right,
and then Steph is like exactly that. Sam Houston got here with a pizza as the room was burning. Kennesaw State just forgot the flour.
Well, okay, UTEP leaving, they still have 9 teams.
Yeah, and then they got University of Delaware joining starting next year, and also Missouri State is joining starting next year.
Those guys again. I remember them.
Yeah.
I don't know the context, just that reaction killed me.
Yeah,
Repeat
That
I got
was
one
I
froze
laughed
up.
in one stream, bro.
yeah. Missouri
fuck?
State football is joining. Jesus fucking Mary and Joseph. These motherfuckers are gonna play football at the FBS level. Those motherfuckers.
Hey, they put up a
Okay,
fight in
and your
basketball.
point?
Well,
Your point?
They're fucked.
Oh.
I think they might just close off Division One just to say, like, guys, we can't just keep being another life raft. This is getting out of hand.
they got. Here's the thing: the NCAA has to take back some control and start just deciding, okay, which teams are staying and which ones are going. I'm sorry, Kennesaw State. I'm sorry, Sam Houston. It's
They're
like,
not
we got
going to
so
tell
many-
the teams that already jumped up they got to go back. That would be an awful decision with all the money they invested into those programs.
No, you need to tell teams like UMass to go fuck off. And I'm
No,
from
you need
New
to tell-
England, for fuck's sake.
No,
You know?
you need to tell conferences you can't just try to survive by snatching guys from FCS and then living on life support.
It's not Slick. It's Zoidberg. John Beep and Zoidberg.
What the fuck?
Okay.
And we thought Georgia Alabama was on crack. What the fuck is this stream on?
So, Fry, disemboweled in your
apparently-
species, fatal or non-fatal?
Okay, that's it. Time out. Back on the rails now, please. Jesus fuck. Okay, look. Where's John Green's Mongols joke when you need
Was
it?
that brought up?
Made
That
it
brought up
already.
Zoidberg, so I'm sorry.
Except for the Mongols. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Missouri State Bears. Welcome to the revolving door. Your reward is getting constantly owned by Roadrunners and.
Mimi.
God damn.
Dang it! If my stream had freeze, I would have done the beep beep.
Everything,
Me.
Alan. The stream is on everything.
Yep.
I go to a Conference USA school. I hate that this is happening, but realistically, I think we'll become like the WAC, constantly getting beaten down and constantly reinventing, trying to survive. It is what it is. That's a great comparison, actually, because the WAC were literally the revolving door of college football for years before the last big realignment back in the big realignment in the early 2010s that killed the Big East and the WAC. That was they were the revolving door. When the Mountain West broke off from them, that's when it started going downhill. My question is, as a Bison fan, what's going to happen to our conference with Missouri State leaving? It's called the Missouri Valley Football Conference. You can't call it that without a Missouri team. Call it the Dakota Conference at this point, because you fuckers might as well be owning it.
No, there's no Dakotas in the Missouri Valley. As a Wichita, last I checked,
what the
as a Wichita
fuck?
State.
You're right.
Missouri-
I'm stupid.
Right, hang on, let me check. Who was still in the Missouri
You're in
Valley?
the
'Cause
Pirate.
we had
I
Creighton
don't
there.
We're so off topic. We got so much more to get through still.
We'll
I might
get
have to
through it
start
fast.
cutting
Don't worry.
shit. I might have to start cutting shit if we don't quit. This
Oh,
is
son of a
getting
gun!
Oh, no, this is too much fun. What are you
Son of a
talking
gun.
about?
Oh.
North Dakota, South Dakota, they joined. Huh.
Mhm.
Well, I remember like Northern Iowa, Indiana State, Illinois State. I remember those guys.
Okay. Well, all
Conference
right.
changed when Wichita left.
What did we learn
Great
from
time.
this segment? I don't fucking know. We need to move on for the love of
What we
Christ.
learned was that the Pac-12 now has the bare minimum, and UTEP has gone to Mountain West, so they might not be dead yet
all but
either.
official. It's not 100%, but it's all but done. And then neither conference is done yet. Pac-12 has way too much money. The Mountain West has way too much pride to quit now, especially after
Those-
getting pantsed by the Pac-12.
Now let us move on to another pantsing.
Because fuck it, Lol miss. Like, good God Almighty, I don't know where the fuck to begin with you. You know what? I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna start here. Shut up. I'm gonna start here. Ole Miss has invested heavily in NIL these last couple of years to completely build a new team and program from the ground up. It paid off with a trip and a win at the Peach Bowl last season, but they got to take that next step into the playoffs. You don't make the playoffs by losing to Kentucky. I don't care if it's their once-in-a-generation good season. You don't fucking do that.
There wasn't a generation.
Kentucky almost beat Georgia. What the fuck do you expect?
And yet they got completely steamrolled by South Carolina. They only ran 10 passing plays. They did running plays the whole rest of the game. They freaking reverted to a 1920s offense.
Yeah, I know, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Destroyed by. Oh, wait. I'm thinking about North
Jackson
Carolina getting
Dart
destroyed by
was
James Madison.
The idea that this Ole Miss offense was completely stymied by the Kentucky defense, they should have saw this coming from a mile away, especially after what they did to Georgia. Good God. I mean, they held Georgia to 13 points. You know how incredibly insane that is to hold
Maybe
the
they thought
Bulldogs to 13
Look.
fucking points?
Look, Georgia for the past couple of years had always been having that one game against a one opponent that they were supposed to be absolutely crushing. 2022, they had a real nail biter with Missouri. Last year, it was a close one. They needed a last-second drive to beat Auburn. This year, before that Alabama game, it was freaking. It looked like it probably was going to be Kentucky was going to be their one game that was going to scare them.
Yeah, and now it's going to be them, Alabama, and Texas.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all the SEC is at this point. Is those
Tennessee,
three
maybe
schools?
Tennessee,
Tennessee. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Well, Tennessee. Yeah, almost forgot. So it's down basically to
or
Alabama.
Oklahoma. It might somehow go absolutely like freaking. They stop being the Sooners and they just go freaking Indian territory on some others.
Okay.
Sharpen
Akbar,
the blades.
I love how I always try to give you hope and optimism. Tamper it down. Okay, let's be realistic, please. Come back to earth.
After that Alabama game, man, Oklahoma's going to get steamrolled.
Yeah. This is where I'm going to casually remind everybody that Kentucky indeed does have a football program, and occasionally they're not half bad, and they actually know what the hell to do. They don't just come out with basketballs and act lost. They actually play good, and they play very good
this year. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think that Kentucky, they did pretty well last season too. They made the Gator Bowl, took Clemson to the limit. You know,
did
all
they have
that
a
good
10-win
shit.
season recently?
Not last year.
I think it was a couple years ago. I remember that.
I found it. Hang on. It was 2021. They also had one in 2018. Tied second. Wow. I mean, they ended up second in the East both times. Because I'm probably taking a wild guess first. Let me guess. Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia. All right, look, let's just make a couple of things clear here. I don't think that. What the fuck are you talking about, Nick? So
Colonel Reb.
Obvious. Oh.
Colonel Reb. Their old mascot used to be a Southern plantation owner.
First, we're talking about Evil Mustache Man. Now we're talking about slavery. Let's please reset the damn stream again.
Here's one thing about Ole Miss. The students voted some years ago. Guess who they were wanting to put as their new mascot? That it wasn't Colonel Reb. He's another famous rebel.
No.
God,
Admiral Akbar.
A record for resets, bro. What the?
They picked Admiral Akbar from Star Wars: Return of the Jedi as their mascot, and George Lucas was.
What the f was that?
George Lucas was almost completely on board. I don't know what happened that made things fell through, but it's like
I'll tell you what happened. Too many Southern gentlemen and Southern belles rose up and said, "My lord, that would be an embarrassment against this fine academic institution of Ole Miss."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the backers and all that stuff probably put the kibosh on that one.
Yeah,
but it's like
Ohioan. You have a pretty good Southern accent.
With Alan, you're the Oregon Ducks. You know your mascot can be Donald Duck. Like Disney gave his blessing on that.
Yep. And we still tried to fucking change it to some thing.
Oh God!
What
okay.
was that? At that point,
No.
if you were gonna do
No.
that kind of
No.
What the was that?
if you were gonna do some new age edgy sort of duck, why not just use one of the ducks from the Mighty Ducks show? And I mean that
Or just
animated
use
one
RoboDuck.
on Disney Channel late when it was the
You
freaking.
remember RoboDuck, Alan? RoboDuck was fun, right?
Arby's.
We've got beef, motherfucker!
Seeing that in the Oregon video, I was like, what am I looking at? I know Squid, but get me off the fucking ride. Why?
Did anyone ever see that show? Did anyone ever actually see that animated? It was on Disney Channel. It was the Mighty Ducks, but it wasn't about. Well, actually, I think they were hockey players, but it was like ducks in space or something. I don't know. It was kind of like Buzz Lightyear Star Command.
We are supposed to be talking about Ole Miss, for fuck's sake.
Okay.
God.
Okay.
Right. So Trey Harris, you're a dumbass. You fumbled the ball in the 18-yard line in the second half. Jackson Dart, you're a dumbass because you couldn't make the offense effective. Trey Amos, you're a dumbass for taking 2 penalties before the end of the first half. Caden Davis, you're a dumbass for hooking a 48-yard field goal attempt to try to tie the game. And Ole Miss, y'all are dumbasses for losing Kentucky. And Georgia, you are also still dumbasses because you almost lost to Kentucky yourselves.
Moving on. Let's go to the next one, Red.
I
Billy,
can't
fuck you.
finish it on Ole Miss bad. Next question. Ole Miss is not bad. Next question. Ole Miss is undercooked. Now, next question. Penn State didn't blow it. They didn't blow it. Illinois hung around way.
Another 9 overtime epic.
Illinois hung around for way too damn long. Like, what the fuck, Penn State? Have you learned nothing from all this shit over the years?
That's who's their coach again? Franklin.
Dan Franklin, yes.
I think honestly, after all these years, it might be time to start looking for someone else. Franklin is just not getting you over that hump.
They're stuck with Stockholm syndrome. I swear to God.
Be careful
This
with
is
your
cynical.
phrasing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Be careful with how you talk about stuck with old memories.
No, Bill was right. He said in the last stream that he thought Ole Miss was going to go like undefeated or something, and it was just like, well, that aged poorly.
Yeah, that aged like a house fire in Detroit. Now, let's just be clear here about Penn State. They are, without a doubt, they have been the third best team in the Big Ten for years. And it's not going to change now. If you're letting Illinois, who is having a much better season, Illinois is having a little bit of a comeback, which you love to see. You want to keep it fresh in the Big Ten. I mean, hell, right now, I love that Rutgers has the best rushing attack in the Big Ten. And Ohio State doesn't have to play them this year. Yeah. Rutgers is doing great with Kyle Monangai, and like literally they own the run, and it's so awesome to see. Man, get the fuck over it, okay? Get
Not
the fuck
you.
over it.
Billy, look in the comments, bitch. Billy. God damn it. My airline is fine.
Okay, fucking God, stop it with the fucking diversion. Had enough. I've had it fucking enough. No more. I give this show a 90-minute fucking limit, and you two jackoffs, plus other people in the comments, are making my job really fucking hard right now.
I apologize, Red. I apologize for some parts. I admit I've gotten
You shut the fuck up. You haven't helped.
Yeah,
Who
well, what the
who
fuck
are you
else
talking?
would you be doing on a Tuesday night?
All of you.
Kidding, that's what.
I don't mean it seriously. Relax.
I know.
Oh, thank God. I'm legit. I'm legitimately serious. Sometimes I really think
I
you're.
saw
actually
the
being
I
truly
saw the
serious.
fear of God in your eyes, and I was like, okay, hold on.
Look, I haven't taken my meds today, so I apologize.
No
that fear was
shit.
real. That fear was real.
There is no fear like an angry red. Now, okay, let's. God,
What can we say about this game? What can we really say about this game? Penn State played Illinois. They both were undefeated. They were both good teams, but Penn State, on paper, should have been absolutely probably running away with that game. They didn't. Illinois basically hung around for a while. What does that say about Penn State other than shoot? They play the real big boys. They probably ain't winning.
So there was a
Exactly,
video
yeah.
I watched recently regarding Penn State. So I promise you this is on topic.
Okay.
Penn State is essentially the gatekeepers to your Ohio States, your Michigans, and now that we're here, your Oregons. Essentially meaning Penn State will never be better than Michigan. Well, not never, but they won't be better right now than Ohio State, Michigan, or Oregon, or some other fucking team that happens to jump them in a given year.
They always
But
have.
You have to get through them to get to the other teams. If you think you can be good, you have to beat Penn State. It's that simple.
Remind me to talk to you after the stream about Lewis Black for 2 seconds. Red.
Fair
But
enough.
anyways,
right,
I just want to say, I just want to quickly say one last thing.
On both YouTube and Twitch.
The Penn State situation, since they joined the Big Ten, it was always them freaking, especially in the Franklin era. They can't get over that hump. It was always they can't make it to the championship game because on their schedule, because they were in the East, part of the Eastern Conference of the East Division, they kept getting freaking knocked out. They had 1 loss or 2 losses against Ohio State and Michigan always, and that's what kept them out of the freaking the Big Ten championship. It's what kept them out of the playoffs. End of story. James Franklin, he's good, but he will keep giving you just the bare minimum to get maybe 10 wins. But he won't get you to a conference championship, and he certainly won't get you to the playoffs. I don't know about this year.
I don't think that Penn State is going to miss the playoffs, mainly because if you go 10-2 in the Big Ten, you're probably going to make it in, especially with the teams that they got to face this season. I think they'll make it in. The question becomes how many other 10-2 teams are there that they will have to then compare schedules to and decide, do either of these teams appear to be better than any of these other teams?
Well,
So
it depends on their
I'm not
losses.
going to get – Penn State for the moment is still undefeated, and they still are ranked in the top 10 of the AP poll, and their matchup against we'll get there down the season.
I'll check 2 seconds. Hang on.
Oh
Down
my
the
God,
season, not
fucking
next
dinner's
week.
trying to
But
come up.
we're going to go ahead and move on to the next topic real quick.
Their next game is against UCLA.
You
Oh, that's
fucked
easy.
up. Holy fuck. Utah ran into a big-ass cactus known as the Wildcats of Arizona. What in the
Now Arizona
fuck
shows up.
Yeah, for real. What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, this game got lost in the shuffle of Alabama, Georgia, Florida State getting shit stopped by SMU, which we somehow have not brought up tonight until now, and everything else.
I already went over
only
that
fucking
ad
saw
nauseam,
this
that's why.
after the fact and then DM'd Red about it.
It was the dang late night, the after hours game for most of the country.
After hours.
Fuck
Shout out to
off. Look, in terms of like the game itself, I mean, it's not like you got to keep this in mind. Cam Rising is currently hurt again for Utah. That's their top. That's their starting quarterback.
Not again.
Yeah, again, all right. Like if this shit keeps up, he's gonna have to redshirt another season. Cam Rising's hurt. He can't fucking play right now. His backup quarterback, Isaac Wilson, went through 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and went 20 for 40 on a completions and attempts. Like, he wasn't great. He made too many damn mistakes, and unfortunately, their rushing attack is non-existent. So Arizona just kind of had their way, and Utah was in no way, shape, or form able to keep up. It was I honestly kind of expected that to happen. As soon as I heard that Cam Rising was hurt, I was like, okay, how long until they lose? Oh, wow. It wasn't that fast at all. It didn't take
Yeah.
long at all for that to happen. And I think it's going to all but eliminate Utah from any like serious
I will, Dad.
discussion of the playoffs
Chilly out.
until
Yes,
further
Dad.
notice.
It's nicer in a chilly room, but I don't
Who
like
the-
sleeping in a fucking cold ass house.
The hell?
That was my dad. Don't worry about it. He was just telling me to close the window.
Oh,
Again, don't worry about
See,
it.
this is what
Right.
happens when I have when I when I when I stop
That was
when I do
weird.
this.
Oh, fucking Christ.
That's because somebody was coming in.
Yeah.
I quickly hit the stop and mute.
Yeah, in the future, y'all. I know you do a pretty good job about that, Akbar.
Shit. You, get back there.
Yeah, Cam Rising, 11th year redshirt senior. Good God.
At
All
some
right.
point, you just gotta tell them to graduate. Tell them you can't play anymore.
Okay, cool. So yeah, moving on, and I do want to touch base real quick on Miami against Virginia Tech because I know
Oh,
that was brought up earlier, and I already talked about it. It's descended into anarchy. I'm trying to get us to the finish line at this point.
well, I think we're getting
We'll
to
get
finish
there.
pretty good now.
We're getting there. But it's been
Miami,
fun.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, my Virginia Tech. If you guys haven't already, check out the video I made on my channel about that game. But long story short, Virginia Tech kind of had Miami's number for a good chunk of it. And then Miami's high-end talent started to
Bail them out.
rear its ugly head. And
Here I come to save the day.
But Virginia Tech, they nearly pulled off the upset. They threw a Hail
Yeah.
Mary a good distance into the end zone, back of the end zone, and then like 5 or 6 guys came down with the ball. And originally, the refs ruled that Virginia Tech caught it, they won the game. And then the review happened, and then they decided on second thought, decided actually one of the Miami players touched the ball apparently. That person was out of bounds, so the ball was out of bounds, hence incomplete. And I don't know. There is no
Hail
way.
Mary 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I don't know about that. I mean, my dad saw it, and he was like saying the guy never even caught it.
Fair
Virginia-
point.
the ball did come out and it was bobbling. And the official ruling from the ACC on that call was it was caught, dislodged, and then a Miami player who was out of bounds, part of his body was out of bounds, touched the ball. I don't know how they could have saw a Miami player touching the ball, but if you're out of bounds and you touch the ball, it's dead. The play's over at that point. Incomplete pass, game over. That's how that works. And I would say that there was, as much of a train wreck as that game was, it also did one thing that I think a lot of us kind of forgot in the chaos of Saturday. Cam Ward is probably going to win the fucking Heisman.
Not if Travis Hunter has something to say about it, because he's going to
Travis
make a fucking
Hunter.
one. If not
Travis
her, if
Hunter.
him.
Oh
If
my
Travis
gosh, yeah, you saw that
Hunter-
one play?
If Travis Hunter focused on one position, I would say yes. The fact that he plays dos in 2 positions, in my opinion, actually kind of hurts him a little bit. I know the Heisman is awarded to the best player in college football for a season. Fair enough. Travis Hunter is an excellent wide receiver and an excellent defensive player. But does that mean he's better at playing football than Cam Ward?
Yes.
When I saw what I saw, Cam Ward making plays happen out of thin air when the game is on the line and their season is partially on the line, I would argue no, Akbar.
Akbar, go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to straight up say Virginia Tech should be 5-0 right now. Every game
yeah.
they have lost have been close ones. They came back on Vanderbilt. They had the lead. They blew that one. They lost by 3 to Rutgers, and then they just lost on a freaking Hail Mary against Miami. Honestly, Virginia Tech, if they just make 1 or 2 quick little adjustments, little changes, they'd be 5-0 right now. They would be highly ranked.
Yeah, but the problem is that I would like Virginia Tech. They've been ever since Beamer left town. it's just been a rocky time in Blacksburg. But getting back to Miami, Harvey makes a good point here. Travis Hunter is eligible to be nominated twice for each position of the ball, so technically he's got a great chance. I'm not saying Travis won't be in New York in December. I am positive that he will be among the top 5 players in the country and will be in New York for the ceremony. I just don't think he's going to win when I am looking at plays that Cam Ward is making in big-time games. Virginia Tech is not Alabama. No, they're not that good. And like Original is saying in the chat right now, I'm not that big on Kyron Drones either. He's good. He's a good quarterback, a good ball player. He's not Cam Ward. He's not Jalen Milroe. He's not even Carson Beck. He's fine. He does the job, and he's serviceable. He's undercooked. Cam Ward is not. Cam Ward is a lightning in a bottle. I think like he did something that Miami has not done in this decade, in the last decade, especially in the Cristobal era. They actually play to the end. They don't stop. They don't quit. They don't let off the gas. If they start to, they get their shit together and they come right back.
To Georgia Tech.
I swear though that should have been grounds to fire a guy right there for doing that. For being that stupid.
And yet they won't.
Oregon warned ya.
Yeah, right. All right,
Anyway.
we are going to go ahead and get to the dumbest shit you can do while on the bench. Alan, I want you to kind of walk us through what the fuck this is.
Okay, so here's the deal. So this is Washington versus Rutgers. Rutgers, they're undefeated somehow. Washington, they have one L, but it's okay.
Against their rival.
Yes.
Washington State.
So they enter this game. This is, as you can see, this is the end of the first half. 47 seconds left. 4th and 5. 38-yard attempt. This season, Jai Patel, the kicker for Rutgers, he's 2 of 4 with his longest kick being 36 yards. Rutgers is up 7-3. If they make this kick, it's a 10-3 game going into halftime. If he misses, whatever, it's still 7-3. You still have the lead. You've got a shot going into the second half. You want momentum. Courtesy of Isaac punts. Watch this bullshit right here. So he's talking about it. Again, you guys need to watch. Watch. The kick gets blocked. The kick gets blocked. And that's a great thing. Yay! Woo! But there's a flag on the play. As Chisel the Donuts say, there is laundry on the field. Why? So here's the ref's call. So this is the overhead shot. We'll zoom ahead real quick. Hold on. Okay, again, from this angle. There's a ball coming forward. This dumbass motherfucker runs off of the sideline in celebration, right in front of the ref.
And the play's not dead.
Nope. And the ref immediately chucks the flag in the air. Immediately. He's right in front of the ref. And look at this coach. Right here. Okay, hold on.
The coach is going to strangle somebody.
Yes.
The coach is going to do 5 to 10.
He is pissed off. He immediately gets in the player's face and says, "What the fuck are you doing?" The dumbest penalty ever. And this doesn't even account for the fact that Washington's kicker missed multiple field goals on this game.
Should we also point out that what happens next? Because basically, Rutgers still keeps the ball, and guess what they do immediately on the next play?
Touchdown, bitch. So
basically,
and then
instead of it,
again, Washington.
Instead of it being like a 3 to, okay, look, if they made the field goal, it was going to be a 3 to 10 game. If they miss, it's still 3 to 7. They did the worst mistake and Rutgers got the maximum before the half. And honestly, Rutgers wasn't doing too hot this game from the looks of things because I didn't really see anything.
Nope. But Washington's kicker missed multiple field goals on this game,
including the last one.
and lost. Michigan,
what I think
Washington
about that
State
whole
is not
thing?
playing great this year.
You know what I think about that whole fucking ordeal?
What the f was that?
That is just some low IQ play right there. Just
Complete lack of awareness of what's going on in the game. I don't even know if that dude was even a
the guy,
starter,
I like, I'm
second
I,
string,
like,
third string, bench warmer, whatever.
If you're excited, your team got the stop. This might be a huge momentum shift for your team. Okay, like obviously Washington probably wasn't going to drive down the field and score a touchdown before they half. They didn't have that much time left. But who knows? They could have maybe gotten to field goal range and maybe made a field goal there. Who knows what it could have been? We'll never know. Because one player got way too excited and accidentally realized he's not supposed to be on the field. Like he just went too far out in the field. Like he was celebrating too early. He was about to rush the field with his other teammates.
Yeah, I mean, there are plays that I look at sometimes during the course of a season where I'm like, that kid's he's gonna be walking home. If that was Lou Holtz back in the 80s, that kid would have been cut on the field and sent home with a taxi. Like that would have been the end. Now that's been dumb decisions. Now, and by the way, who made that one particular video we showed? Who was the
Isaac Punts.
Sorry?
Isaac Punts, and the player's name is safety Vincent Holmes, number 27. I don't know if he's a redshirt freshman.
Oh,
if you haven't yet, go check out that video by Isaac Punts. His commentary on there is pretty goddamn funny. Now, moving on to
Super Mario. It was illegal substitution.
Oh God, yes.
Illegal substitution, not too many men on the field.
Yep.
All right. What is in store for week 6 as we try to wrap this up with a nice
I have the schedule pulled up. I have it pulled up.
The only game I see is a game between the only two ranks playing each other is number 9 Missouri. Where the heck is that? Missouri versus what the heck? I can't find it.
Missouri is playing Texas A&M. I got it too right here. Missouri is playing Texas A&M. That's number 9 Mizzou against number 25 A&M
at Kyle Field.
At Kyle Field, A&M finally has clawed back into the top 25. Let's see if they stick around. And then the other rank versus rank game does not exist. There's no other rank versus rank games. It's the only top 25 clash this weekend. There is one game. They're going to be in Berkeley for Cal versus Miami.
Oh yeah, well, obviously they weren't going to go back to Kyle Field again. They already went there for the first game.
Yeah, no, they're not going to do that.
We also have Clemson against Florida State,
which
the dope burns. And DJU can't play this week because he's got a broken finger.
Which means incoming onto the field, Brock fucking Glenn. May God help your souls.
Glenn.
You know what would be funny? Wait, I'm sorry. My stream went thing. Who were you saying is going to be starting for quarterback?
Brock Glenn.
Glenn.
Wouldn't I would? You know what's that would be actually hilarious if Florida State won that game with him.
Yes.
That'd be a lot of NIL money that boosters would be very pissed off about spending, but that would be funny, and that would make As the Dope Burns episode 3 very worth it. There is a couple of games I do want to kind of keep an eye on because they could be interesting. First off, SMU playing number 23 Louisville on the road at high noon in Louisville. That'll be a big test for the Mustangs after taking down Florida State last week. Another one that could be a trap game. Surprisingly enough, the Indiana Hoosiers, yes, it's still basketball. It's still not basketball. Indiana Hoosiers, 23rd in the nation, travel to take on Northwestern. Could be a trap game.
Oh, we got number 12 Ole Miss going to South Carolina.
That could also be a trap game for Ole Miss trying to rebound for their mistakes last week. If they lose again, I don't know how they're making it out of there now.
Lane Kiffin's gone, probably.
Oregon, Friday night on Fox, plays 3-2 Michigan State. I will be at an independent wrestling show, so I won't be home to watch that game.
Yeah, enjoy the
Oregon, do
free
not
win.
let me down. You
Enjoy
better
the free
not.
win. You'll be fine. Ohio State's playing
They got-
Iowa. I'm not.
They got
Mm.
They got Oregon. I'm looking at the ESPN bet line right now. They got Oregon up 24. Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Now
Michigan
Yeah.
State's that bad at 3-2?
Ohio State
Apparently.
just whipped their ass like they stole something, bro.
I understand that, but it's still Michigan State.
One of Michigan State's wins was against FIU. Relax.
Okay,
Penn
fair
State's-
point. Fair point.
Penn State's got a 28-point advantage on UCLA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michigan State's beaten Prairie View, Maryland, and Florida Atlantic. Pardon me, FAU, not FIU.
Oh wow.
They've beaten nobody so far.
So
And then
Boston
the
College
only-
gets to face Virginia. UNLV faces Syracuse. So that's
Yep.
your former quarterback over there. That's up in New York.
Got Iowa
Uh,
coming to Ohio State.
Yeah.
Undefeated Pittsburgh faces North Carolina. Hey, Northern Illinois gets a free win against UMass. Congratulations.
No.
Wisconsin gets Purdue.
No. Wait just a second. I'm trying to remember. They had a close one against Miami of Ohio just last
Okay.
week. They lost
Fair
in
point.
overtime. So
Fair
We're kind of at that point in the
Yeah.
season now where we can kind of look for games that are just genuinely the dribbly shits. And it's like, who's going to actually get a win? So that's what I'm doing
Yeah.
right now. And I think I found it. And
By the way,
it is
Billy pointed
on
out Tennessee
Friday
played hard.
night. On Friday night, I'm going to go ahead and call this the Sickos Bowl. Jacksonville State 1-3 takes on Kennesaw State 0-4 on CBS Sportsnet.
we have college football tank ball.
God, you guys suck. Yeah, that's. I'm gonna be looking forward to that. I am not gonna stream this weekend. I have a baby shower to attend on Saturday because I am going to be an uncle in January.
Oh, congratulations,
And
buddy.
then- Yeah.
Uncle Ray,
Brother and his wife are expecting their first daughter, their first child, and it's going to be a good old time. So I'm going to take the weekend, and I'm going to be working on trying to relax as much as I can, while also trying to work on my Notre Dame project that I cannot, for the life of me, find time to finish. But you will see me again on stream tomorrow, hopefully, for the fantasy live stream with a Logical Canadian and Red Rubber Duckman. So tune into a Logical Canadians channel and tomorrow night, and we will be live there. Alan, you got anything to plug?
Not really. Just
Okay.
the YouTube channel. Find my name. Oh, tomorrow's my 23rd birthday.
Awesome.
Hey, happy birthday!
Thank you. I
Everybody
do
wish
appreciate it.
Alan
Happy
happy birthday in
birthday.
the chat, please. And
Much
then
appreciated.
Akbar, final words of wisdom from the
OU's got the
Lunar
week
Star?
off, and Alabama's going to Vanderbilt. So, but after that, it is the Red River.
Well, we're going to be looking out for a shirtless hippie this weekend at KSU.
Oh, come on.
And
There's
if
a
you
bunch
do-
of people
if
that go shirtless.
If you find a shirtless hippie in the stands at Kansas State, tell them Red sent you. All right. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. As always, we'll be back next week for another college football recap live stream for this week in college football. Keep a lookout for this weekend for a new episode of As the Dope Burns, pending on the results of that game. And
Put it in
potentially
and win.
more when I find time. So thanks again for watching, and everybody have yourself a wonderful rest of the week. We're at the halfway point almost for college football.
Welcome to
Football's already
October.
All right. And happy fall and happy Spooktober. Let's go.